Most toxic bosses do not need to yell. They just control credit, clarity, access, and blame. That is why modern workplace control can be so hard to explain. If someone screams at you in a meeting, everybody knows something is wrong. But if they keep changing expectations, withholding information, praising you in private, and undercutting you in public, it can sound like normal work stress. And that is the problem. A lot of bad management hides inside professional language. The first tactic is moving the target after you shoot. At the beginning, the goal sounds clear. Finish the repeat, close the client, improve the process, hit the number, then you do the thing. Suddenly, the real issue was tone, or speed, or stakeholder alignment, or the fact that you did not magically know about a priority that was never written down. This creates a very specific feeling. You are working hard, but you never feel done. You start asking for more approval, more status checks, more confirmation. And without saying it directly, your boss has made you dependent on their mood to know whether you are succeeding. The second tactic is strategic vagueness. A healthy manager may not have every answer, but they try to clarify. A controlling manager keeps things fuzzy enough that they can judge you later from whichever angle benefits them. They say, just take ownership. But ownership of what? Decision rights? Timeline? Budget? Communication? Final outcome? They say, be more proactive. But proactive how? Send more updates? Make decisions without asking? Ask earlier? Escalate sooner? Vague feedback is not always malicious, but when vagueness keeps repeating and the person in power benefits from it, you should notice. The third tactic is credit control. This one is quiet. They may not steal your work in an obvious way. They just become the filter through which your work reaches important people. Your idea becomes the team's idea. Your result becomes their leadership. Your extra hours become proof that their system works. And when something goes wrong, suddenly ownership becomes very specific. That part was yours. This is why documentation matters. Not as revenge, not as drama, as reality protection. A simple written record of what was agreed, who asked for what, and when things changed can keep you from being trapped in someone else's version of events. The fourth tactic is access control. In healthy teams, information flows enough for people to do their jobs. In controlled teams, information becomes a privilege. One person gets the context, another person gets the deadline, another person gets left out of the meeting and then blamed for not knowing what changed. This creates competition and confusion. People start trying to stay close to the boss just to understand what is happening. That is not leadership. That is dependency design. The fifth tactic is private praise, public pressure. In private, they say you are valuable, they trust you, you are important to the team. In public, they question your judgment, interrupt your updates, or let other people think a problem was your fault. This split is powerful because it keeps you hopeful. You think, they do see my value. Maybe I just need to get back to that version of the relationship. But the version that matters is the one that shows up when there is status on the line. The sixth tactic is urgency as a control tool. Everything is a fire. Every request is ASAP. Every small issue becomes a test of commitment. Real urgency exists, but if everything is urgent, nothing is being managed. Constant urgency keeps you reactive, and reactive people have less time to think, document, push back, or notice patterns. The seventh tactic is rewriting the conversation after the fact. You remember one agreement, they remember another. You bring up the email. They say, that was not the spirit of what we discussed. You ask for clarity. They say, I need you to operate at a higher level. You explain the constraint. They say, let us not get defensive. Notice the move. They do not answer the fact. They label your response. Now, the issue is not the changed expectation. The issue is your attitude. So what do you do without turning your workplace into a war zone? First, get boringly clear. After a meeting, send a short summary. Here is what I understood. Here are the next steps. Here is the owner. Here is the deadline. Let me know if I missed anything. Good managers appreciate clarity. Controlling managers often dislike it because it reduces their room to rewrite. Second, separate feedback from fog. Real feedback has examples, expectations, and a path forward. Fog sounds important but leaves you less clear than before. Third, track patterns, not just incidents. One bad day is human. A repeating system is data. Fourth, use the right channels. That may mean asking for written priorities, looping in stakeholders, talking to HR, seeking mentorship, or getting professional advice if the situation affects your health or job security. This is not legal advice, and every workplace is different. The point is to protect your reality before confusion becomes the control system. If this kind of practical workplace psychology helps, subscribe. I break down the patterns so you can see them earlier and respond with a cooler head. Because a toxic boss does not always look like a villain. Sometimes they look organized, polished, and very busy. And the control is not in the volume of their voice. It is in who gets clarity, who gets credit, who gets access, and who gets blamed when the story changes. A good way to spot the difference between a hard job and a controlled job is to look at what happens after you ask for clarity. In a hard but healthy job, clarity may take time, but people usually try to create it. They may say, "Good question. Let us define the owner. Let us move the deadline. Let us write down what success looks like." In a controlled job, your request for clarity gets treated like a character problem. You are not being flexible. You are not being senior enough. You are making things complicated. You are too focused on process. That language can sound professional, but it has a function. It pressures you to stop asking for the very information you need to do the work well. Another sign is how mistakes move around. When something works, the credit floats upward. When something fails, the blame gets very specific and lands downward. That does not mean every manager who takes credit is toxic. Leadership does involve ownership of team outcomes, but if the same person claims the wins as leadership and treats the losses as your personal failure, you are not in a fair system. You are in a story system. And in a story system, the most important skill is not just working hard, it is keeping a clean record of reality. What was asked? What changed? Who was in the room? What was agreed? What did you deliver? What feedback was specific enough to act on? That kind of record does not make you difficult. It makes you harder to confuse. The final check is this. Does your workplace make good work easier or harder to identify? In a healthy environment, you may still be stressed, but you usually know what good looks like. In a controlled environment, good keeps moving. You finish the task, but now the real test was something else. You ask for feedback, but it comes back as a mood. You try to improve, but the rules change after the outcome is known. That kind of system makes people tired and easy to blame. So do not only ask, "Am I working hard enough?" Ask, "Is the system clear enough for a reasonable person to succeed?"